CuriOdyssey is a collective interest of all of ours. And for a long time, it's been presented as a personality trait. And this might be accurate when talking about adults, but for children, we know that the desire to pursue curiosity is innate. And children blossom when that curiosity is nurtured. I'm going to have the same problem, so you might catch me up on that. All right, so we've got to figure this out first. There we go. So children are natural-born scientists. Many of you know that. A little girl only has to play with a feather to begin to understand how a bird flies. She's curious. How does a bird fly? What does a feather have to do with it? And after she feels it and she moves it, she begins to understand that the bird flies because of the shape of the feather and the way it moves against the air. She is a natural-born scientist. But why is curiosity so intense in children? This is a really good question, and many people have looked into it deeply. At CuriOdyssey, we work every day to provide opportunities for children to explore and test what they know of the world. When children walk through our doors, they're already primed with curiosity. We're just setting the stage for that curiosity to blossom. And when it does, amazing things happen. We encourage children's natural curiosity by providing them opportunities to engage, to prod, to test, to question, and to see the way the world works in all its wonder. We just set up the conditions for them to explore. We don't tell them how it's going to work. We don't give them prodding questions. We just say, here are the natural phenomenon. Let's see what happens. We make sure that the feedback loop is immediate and robust. So when they're asking those questions, when they're playing with the phenomenon, there's an immediate feedback, and right away they can see the impact of what they're doing. So here are a couple examples of our exhibits. Whoops. Yeah. There we go. This is the rheoscopic fluid. Oh, there we go. As you can see, this is a fluid, and the girl is turning the dials of two different kinds of propellers. And immediately she sees what happens when those propellers turn, and she can see the fluid dynamics that's happening. Here again, the boy is turning the crank, turning with some real vigor, adding water, creating the pressure, and forming the vortex. So, setting up the conditions, providing immediate feedback, and letting them experience what those phenomenon do and mean. CuriOdyssey is best advanced through play. There's a lot of research going on about CuriOdyssey in the fields of neurology, evolutionary biology, and early childhood development that support this. But in contrast to natural play, at CuriOdyssey, kids are playing with really important and deep things. They're playing with circular polarization, fluid dynamics. They're playing with conservation of angular momentum. That does not sound like child's play, does it? Those are really significant things. So when we have parents that come in and watch their kids interacting with our exhibits and say, oh, they're just playing. But what are they playing with? They're playing with really significant scientific concepts. These experiences build curiosity in children, and give them a deeper understanding of the way the world works. The type of learning we promote at CuriOdyssey makes play far more essential than just an activity for a rainy Saturday afternoon. So those of you that have been to our museum know that we are science, and we also have a zoo. And we provide opportunities for children to observe and interact with wildlife. We care for hundreds of animals. Most of them are native to California. And there's nothing more powerful than watching a child's face when she touches an opossum fur, when she sees an otter dive, or when she watches a raccoon's tussle. So by seeing animals and spending time with animals, children begin to understand their behavior as predator and as prey, how their size, how their teeth, how their eye placement impacts this role. Children themselves begin to realize that they themselves are animals. And it's critical for children to learn that we are not the only species on this planet. And what better way to learn that is through empathy with animals. Here. I don't think I need this, do I? You can hear me, right? So here are some of the animals that are our ambassadors at our zoo. Here's the golden eagle, wingless, and one of the most interesting things is to watch him chew up a mouse, and that gives the parents, you know, a little bit of reflection, but the kids love it. The North American river otter was raised in a home, in a bathtub with a dog, and came to us when the owners decided that that wasn't really the right place for a river otter. And our bobcat Freddie, with his beautiful markings, and our gray fox Dylan. Children are indeed natural-born scientists. And with that in mind, I think we all need to take our children more seriously. There are so many moms and dads who are amazed, who come to our museum and are amazed at the ability of their children. Every day, children are showing us how they learn best, and actively engaging with a child in this process is the most powerful thing that we can do as parents. The natural world is so complex and so rich that we offer facilitated programs to build a deeper understanding of the natural world. Our educators explore further the complexities of patterns, cycles, interdependencies, and the profound beauty in the world. So here are a couple examples of how we work with children. So here's a boy in a program examining, I think it's a piece of broccoli, with a microscope. So our programs are both for school groups and individuals that come through. We do them on site. We're right on the bay, so we take kids out into the bay and let them examine what's in the marsh. And we have a very active summer camp program where we use our facility and help kids understand about the natural world right on site. We've had a number of students and kids that have been with us for a very long time. We had a young man named Max who worked as a leader in training. And when we were developing the curriculum, we were trying to share with kids the concept of why snakes don't have ears. And Max, using the way in which sound waves move through sand as an example, Max helped us develop that curriculum, and we still use it today. And Max went on to study environmental science at Dartmouth. He became part of the team that moved the Dartmouth's big green biodiesel bus, which was a vehicle for engaging people in the environmental issues, and that went around the country. And his first stop was CuriOdyssey. There's one of our volunteers was Jason. It was Jason. And Kevin, rather. And he started at camp when he was in kindergarten, and he decided that it wasn't enough just to be on campus. He wanted camp that took him off outside of CuriOdyssey. He expressed an interest in a week-long camping trip, and we now offer 2 trips to Yosemite and Crater Lake. And taking kids outside to more deeply understand the natural world. Kevin went on to be a leader of training, and when he came to choose a place for high school, he said, I want a place like CuriOdyssey. And lastly, we have Alex. Alex was one of our extraordinary volunteers. She happens to be on the autism spectrum. And her therapist said that her progress and her experience at CuriOdyssey greatly helped her progress in managing the challenges that come with that. She applied the skills that she learned at CuriOdyssey, and she is now studying undergraduate at Duke and is currently moving on into a graduate degree. So kids feel when they come to CuriOdyssey that there's a place for them to be curious, a place for them to ask what if, a place for them to explore at their own way and their own time. And that's why we're on a mission to give every kid the superpower of science and we're treating them like geniuses so they can change the face of early science one kid at a time.